Dave believes the evidence is there. And when Florida's next tornado strikes, he'll be back to try and track down the elusive creature. He is just one of the many believers, those who cross paths with disaster and are forever changed in the twisted aftermath of nature's fury.
Records washed away, another legacy of the weather maker that triggered a tornado outbreak this week. Now that heavy rain pours over the Northeast, where it has already brought flood advisories, and the tropical link that can make it worse.
Then run on the stores. People in Bermuda rush to stock up ahead of a hurricane called Gonzalo. Why some say this storm could rival Fabian that struck back the island in 2003.
And Hawaii faces another tropical threat when Tropical Storm Ana could become the third tropical system this season to affect the islands. It's all right here and right now on Weather Center Live. And welcome to Weather Center Live. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Bonnie Schneider. We face weather trouble on land and at sea this morning.
Now we begin with the growing concern over not one, but two tropical systems.
That's true. We're watching a tropical system, of course, in Hawaii, courtesy of Ana. Not only that, Bermuda. Hurricane hunters are back after flying into the storm. They're going to be back later today. And today's the day that private schools are closed in Bermuda ahead of Hurricane Gonzalo. Now on course that could aim a direct threat to the island.
Then on land, we've got Dulles Airport in the Washington, D.C. area that saw record rainfall yesterday from the system that triggered this week's tornado outbreak. Now, we had at Dulles at least 1.3 inches of rain that fell. That broke the old record, which is set back in 1970.
And rain is one of the weather stories we want to get you in front of this morning. So keep in mind we are watching for not only the heavy rain in the Northeast, but Bermuda is watching Gonzalo. And not only that, if the tropics are busy on one side of the world, they're busy on another, Jen. We're keeping our eyes on Ana.
That's right. We got a lot going on today, including all of this rain that has been affecting our commutes in the Northeast. Yesterday, from morning to evening, we saw the rain inch eastward, and we're still watching it this morning because really the whole thing is just inching along. It is not moving east quick. It is not sweeping off the coast that quickly, and we're still dealing with rain in the Philadelphia area. Here we go right now from southeastern Pennsylvania through South Jersey. We've got showers out there. Again, you see the movement of this rain like yesterday, moving from south to north. So we are still looking for, again, a generally slow eastward progression to get this thing out of here simply because of the direction everything is moving. Very humid morning out there. Dew points in the 60s. It's pouring out here this morning in Manhattan and the New York City area. Some of the heaviest rain has already been focused in parts of New York State, like around Binghamton, and in northern Pennsylvania, like around Scranton and Wilkes-Barre. And that's why flood watches are up there, because we're getting some additional rainfall on top of the heavy rain. There were spots in PA that saw over 4 inches of rain. Now we take a look at the progression of everything today. On the move by tonight, we're still left with a couple of showers in southeastern New England, but northern New England still have the rain here. Even into tomorrow, we are still tracking it. So when it comes to how much more rain we're going to get, not much more in southeastern Pennsylvania, South Jersey. Could get maybe up to an inch here into the tri-state, including around New York City and Long Island, southern Connecticut. And actually, this is where we could see more than 2 to 3 inches of rain. Just a lot of moisture content in the air. Not to mention with that from south to north movement, we're going to see some training. Some of the same areas get rain over and over again. New York City, it times out like this for you. We've got thunderstorms risks right through the lunchtime hour. After that, mainly cloudy, but not clearing out really through the afternoon. And temperatures not budging a whole lot today, staying in the upper 60s. Then we go to the tropics, and Bonnie has more on that.
That's right, Jen. We're also tracking the latest developments as Bermuda braces for Hurricane Gonzalo. Officials are warning residents to expect 27 hours of tropical conditions starting later today. The island's international airport will close later, and it will stay closed through Saturday. And in St. George Harbor, they're pulling in boats and working to secure the harbor ahead of Gonzalo. That is really a good idea, because once those seas get churning, the boats will start moving and they could bang into each other and cause a lot of damage. So look Looking at the tropics, we're keeping a close watch on Gonzalo and what we can expect as we continue to monitor the storm. Well, it is a hurricane, certainly a strong one, at 125 mile per hour winds, moving to the north at 9. And as we take a look at the track and where the storm is headed, you are going to look at the timing as well and see that the conditions will start deteriorating by tomorrow, indeed. And then as the storm gets close to Bermuda, it's just going to go from bad to worse. Kind of the last thing folks there want to hear after Fabian, but unfortunately that's the forecast, and this one's a really powerful hurricane. Looking at the track through Thursday evening into Friday, again, Friday, you'll really start to feel the brunt of the storm, but notice it curves a little bit further off out to sea and possibly makes another landfall. It's unbelievable, but we're looking at this one in Newfoundland, and this is for Saturday night into Sunday morning. Then all that moisture crosses the Atlantic, and it's likely to work its way all the way across and impact other areas. Now, take a look at this. We have a hurricane warning in effect. That means hurricane force winds are imminent, and we're likely to see that as we continue to monitor Gonzalo. Jen?
All right, Bonnie, thank you for that. A busy day, a lot to impact your day weather-wise. So let's step you through it region by region, and we'll show you what's happening. Now, we talked about the rain in the northeast. Let's go ahead and look at the southeast. We still had some showers yesterday in Tennessee, in parts of northern Georgia, certainly in North Carolina. Look at today's start to your day. A lot different. We're going to have less clouds. We're going to have more sunshine, and we're going to see temperatures still, though, on the relative cool side. Atlanta hitting 60 at lunchtime, 65 in Charlotte, still in the 50s at lunchtime at Nashville. Yes, you need a coat, and yes, you're going to need it as you leave work this afternoon. Look at these temperatures still in the mid-60s in Charlotte and Atlanta. Now, Orlando and Miami, we actually get to enjoy some pretty nice weather up here today, or down here today, as we get the front through and we get some drier air in place. This is the time of year that we love in South Florida. Midwest, we'll talk about your forecast coming up in about a half hour. Bonnie.
That's true. You know, we're also looking at the weather that's going to impact your travel in the road and in the air as well. Now, Boston, you're looking at moderate chance for delays because of thunderstorms. That's especially early in the day. New York City, some mostly early on. And if you're driving in Boston, well, watch out for flooded roads. These storms could be intense at times. That holds true if you're even further out to the north and suburbs there or to the south. It'll be a kind of a widespread event in the early hours of today. What about New York City? It's been so muggy and humid, but we're still looking at rain for the city. Roads will be wet for the morning commute. It's especially going to feel it further out in Long Island, so just be careful. Give yourself a little extra time. If you're up early now, that's a good start. Checking things out further down south in Atlanta, it's definitely going to be a cool one, but clear skies will bring about the sun glare this time of year, Jen, so I think a lot of people will be hitting those brake lights on the roads today.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, that sun glare is brutal this time of year, isn't it? Now, coming up, we also have another gradual warm-up. How warm you will feel and when in parts of the southeast, plus growing tornado tally, where more than 5 new tornadoes are confirmed in the wake of this week's outbreak. Plus victims of the outbreak, the heartbreak caused by one of this week's deadly twisters.
There it is. This is where I met your grandpa. Right under this tree.
Some things are worth holding on to.
They're hugging the tree.
That's why we got a Subaru.
Was it that tree?
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural, Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 73 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, low 65. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Let's do a reality check. Kids will be kids. Dogs will be dogs. So let's get some paint that's more than just paint. Made to stand up to this and look beautiful for years. Let's lose the old marks and messes and stop new ones in their tracks. Let's worry-proof our walls. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Behr Premium Plus with Easy Clean Finish starting at $25.97 a gallon.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm on it. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Kevin.
Thanks, Melinda.
I have blah blah insurance, so person, come help.
Hey, Grandma. Dad, look who it is.
I see who it is.
6 callers ahead of us, Jimmy.
You're not helping.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you anytime, anywhere, anyway. That's getting to a better state.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Time when truck guys can depend on great offers on the 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Chevy Silverado. From the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. It's Truck Month. Trade up to this Silverado Crew Cab LT All-Star Edition for a total value of $8,500. It's Truck Month. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Great. This is the last thing I need.
Seriously? The last thing you need is some guy giving you a new catalytic converter when all you got is a loose gas cap. Let's take this puppy over to Midas and get you some of that good old Midas touch. Dude, you know what? I'll drive. I really didn't think this through.
Get the Midas Touch maintenance package, including an oil change for only $24.99. And here's the deal. Use your Midas credit card and get a rebate of $25. Oil, tires, brakes, everything. Trust the Midas Touch.
All right, let's take a look outside in Atlanta. This is a live view this morning here from the world headquarters of Coca-Cola in Atlanta. Oh, Atlanta, it's a little on the chilly side for us, I think. Only in the 60s for highs again today. Now, it caught a lot of you off guard yesterday. 60s feels colder than all those 70s and even 80s we've had lately, but that's coming back to everyone in the southeast. We will see a warm up. It's just going to be a little slow to get here. So Atlanta right now starting at 59 degrees, more clouds than clear skies out there this morning. We are going to see temperatures get up into the 60s today, but bigger changes coming by the weekend. So even compared to yesterday, temperatures are up a little bit in Atlanta. I wouldn't really worry too much about that. It's not notable. What you really notice is behind the front how temperatures have dropped off in places like Jacksonville and Orlando. Drier air, cooler air has settled in there. Now, today we warm up into the mid-60s in Nashville, hoping to get into the low 70s in Atlanta. We'll see if we get there. But by tomorrow, here we go, getting closer to average everywhere. Average right now in Atlanta is 73. We'll be 72 for you tomorrow, and then as we get you into the coming days, we'll be warming up as well. All right, Bonnie, over to you.
Thanks, Jen. Well, it's time now for the weather making headlines this morning. The tornado count has climbed again from this week's outbreak. Weather investigators have now confirmed at least 5 tornadoes struck their state. Indications are all that they're EF0 in strength, and both Georgia and Arkansas's National Weather Service offices have now confirmed a 6th tornado in their states. That brings the count to at least 34 tornadoes in 9 states. And there's more developments this morning in Hawaii and in Bermuda from 2 tropical systems that we're tracking. Hawaii's governor has declared an emergency as Tropical Storm Ana heads on a path expected to take it towards the islands. Schools on the Big Island have already announced that they'll close tomorrow, and Bermuda's preparing for Hurricane Gonzalo. Government offices will close tomorrow, and so will public schools. Jen?
Thank you for that. Now, we've got other things that Bermuda are doing as well. We've got private schools closed today. Residents are stocking up and boarding up. The island's weather service says it could be another Fabian, referring to the 2003 storm that proved to be one of Bermuda's worst. The island's premier, Michael Dunkley, took to the airwaves yesterday, urging people to help each other ahead of Gonzalo.
I would like to ask everyone in the community to continue to be mindful of our neighbors. Let's lend a hand where we can, especially to our seniors who might need some extra help. In the coming days, it will be important for us to continue to work together and to assist where we can to help recover from whatever damage might result from the passage of this hurricane. We are fully confident of our ability throughout the island and of the public sector and the private sector resources to deliver on well-exercised plans. and we will provide the service that is required to help Bermuda recover as quickly as possible.
Now, there's another interesting link, and actually some of the moisture from Gonzalo could get up into Maine. Bonnie's going to track that wet threat and others in the next 7 days.
That's right. You know, lots happening over the next 7 days as we kind of work our way towards the end of one week and into another. For today, we're watching for wet weather in the Northeast. That's right. Remember the big storm system that brought all the tornadoes? It's kind of on its last batch of energy, and it's still going to bring some heavy rain and potential for flooding, even in Boston as we go through the morning hours. Looking towards tomorrow, some rain in northern Michigan and upper parts of the Midwest. A little bit of rain on Saturday for southern Texas and also the Pacific Northwest, but most of the country's looking pretty good for a busy weekend. But we are going to see some new weather threats at the start of next week. Stay with us.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, comfort can also mean efficiency. Because being more efficient with your home heating can mean spending less on it. And that's something everyone can get comfortable with. If you're ready for Carrier Comfort, now you can get cool cash rebates of up to $1,450 on a new system. Carrier, turn to the experts.
As boys, the Dodge brothers made their own bicycle. John went on to hold office. Horace supported the orchestra. They raced yachts. Their lives were big, but their dreams were even bigger. 100 years later, this is how their spirit lives on.
What makes Thermacare different? 2 words. It heals. How? With heat. Unlike creams and rubs that mask the pain, Thermacare has patented heat cells that penetrate deep to increase circulation and accelerate healing. Let's review. Heat plus relief plus healing equals Thermacare. The proof that it heals is you.
Lowe's presents how to install a new washing machine with one finger.
Maybe a little more that way. Nice.
Now get 10% off all major appliances, $3.99 and above.
Progressive Insurance here. Ever since we launched Snapshot, my life has been positively great. What's Snapshot, you ask? Only a revolutionary tool that can save you big time. Just plug it in, and the better you drive, the more cash you'll stash. Switching to Progressive can already save ye $500. Snapshot could save ye even more. Meet maiden, bringeth to me thine spiciest wings of buffalo.
Sunday nights, the Weather Channel unravels nature's darkest secrets. Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend.
It may have just looked like a storm.
A message from the Sentinel Group. For decades, many Americans working in the trades were exposed to environmental hazards without their knowledge. While the dangers of one such airborne threat, asbestos, have long been known, efforts were made to hide the risks from the public. The result is thousands of cases of asbestos-induced mesothelioma and lung cancer each year. Those who worked in these trades and who were exposed to asbestos have been harmed by hundreds of companies who produced asbestos-laden products. If you or someone you know has been diagnosed with lung cancer or mesothelioma, get the best care available. Then call us. The U.S. Bankruptcy Court has established asbestos trusts with over $30 billion in assets and more than 500,000 claims filed. Act now, don't wait. Call the number on your screen now and learn about your rights to compensation. Call right now. Lung cancer and mesothelioma. Don't fight them alone.
Code 31000. Ready for a new breed of broker? There's a name for people like you. Trade King. Switch today.
7 a.m. on AMHQ.
Let's get you in front of today's weather.
The biggest weather hour anywhere.
What a gorgeous start.
Weekday mornings on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 70 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, low 65. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
All right, tracking the tropics, Gonzalo up first with its eyes set on Bermuda. Now, had impacts in the northern Leeward Islands, including around St. Martin and Antigua. And now here it is. We're tracking this on the northern and northeastern track. We have an invest also in the eastern Pacific, 92E, with some of the moisture may get into the southern Bay of Campeche. We'll have to watch that, particularly of interest next week. And then, of course, we have Tropical Storm Ana with its eyes set on Hawaii. So that story coming up in a moment. But let's focus on Gonzales in the Atlantic Basin. It reached Category 4 status yesterday. Winds 130 miles per hour at near the center. Now, we have had 1,109 days without a Category 4. The last time we had that was Ophelia in 2011. It is now the longest stretch, and Gonzales here broke that stretch, but it's top of the list. Now, we take a look at what Gonzalo looks like right now. And as we look at it, a lot of things to point out from the satellite perspective. Here you'll see the concentric eye here with a ring of stronger winds right around it and the higher cloud tops right around that very distinct eye. Winds at 125 miles per hour, still a Category 3 major hurricane. 130 is the threshold for Category 4. And also, I want you to notice these clouds up here to the north and west. That's out ahead of our trough, the steering trough that is going to help steer Gonzalo up here towards the north and northeast with Bermuda in its path. Now, water vapor imagery, another thing to point out as well is that there's, not a lot of dry air at play here, so that's not going to work against Gonzalo. There's not a lot of shear right now at the upper levels. The winds are favorable for at least maintaining its strength. And so Category 3 right now, expecting it to remain a strong major hurricane as we track it towards Bermuda. And the track right now, the model's clustered very much just to the west of there. A little more divergence in that as we get out over time as it moves into the northern Atlantic. Let's take a look real quick. Hurricane watches warnings are up for Bermuda. And really, you need to start your preparations and finish them up today as we will start to see impacts by Friday. Bonnie.
Well, Jen, it's interesting. We've been talking a lot about Hawaii this tropical season. It's not one storm, it's another. But what about Tropical Storm Ana? Believe it or not, we're still not done with these systems. And we've got this storm looks very impressive here. There's Hawaii. And as we put the map into motion, you can see right now the winds 65 miles per hour. So a strong tropical storm. But will it become a hurricane? Let's take a look at the track and where this storm is headed. By the time we get to Friday, we're looking at a Category 1 hurricane possibly coming to the southern part of the islands, although Hawaii is in that cone of uncertainty, so keep that in mind. We're watching very closely because there is a tropical storm watch, and it does include the Big Island and, of course, Hilo. Something to keep close watch on because those warnings could be upgraded as we go through the next 48 hours. Jen?
Well, the weather maker that triggered a tornado outbreak this week is now a wet mess from the mid-Atlantic into the Northeast. But as NBC's Dylan Dreyer shows us, that left tragedy and heartache in its wake.
Here in Durham, the rain really came down very heavily, and we've noticed this whole storm system transition from a severe weather event to more of a heavy rain event. So from here on out, we're not really looking for widespread damage from wind or tornadoes. Sadly, though, the same can't be said for parts of the South earlier this week. Charles Edward Witham, a Marine and father of 4, was killed when his home was hit by a tornado. We talked to his mother and daughter. This wasn't the first tornado to tear through Juliana Ormsby's hometown of Ashdown, Arkansas, but it was the first time her home was directly in one's path.
I feel like it's a nightmare that's not stopping.
She and 2 of her siblings were home with their parents, Roxanne and Eddie Witham, when the EF2 tornado tore through their neighborhood, the 111-mile-per-hour winds blowing their house to pieces.
All I saw was my walls all coming at me and my bed flipping me through the air.
All 3 children and their mothers survived the storm. Eddie, a former Marine, did not.
He went through 2 tours in Iraq, and a tornado kills him.
I can't believe he's gone. Everything that he's not going to be able to do now. He's not going to be able to see any of us graduate or walk me down the aisle.
The children's mother remains in critical condition this morning after undergoing surgery on Tuesday, suffering neck, back, lung, spleen, and liver damage. The children suffering bad bruises and cuts, but mostly in a state of shock, remembering their father and hoping their mother survives.
She's my hero. Like, if I lose her too, I don't know what I'll do.
Such a sad story, and this weather maker is still on the move. Actually, still a rain threat today in the Northeast.
That's true, and the threat now that it poses has changed. Where rain from this system is already moving, it's produced flood watches.
Lowe's presents How to Say Goodbye to 1993 Forever.
Goodbye.
Hurry into Lowe's and get Stainmaster carpet installed free by Thanksgiving.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back.
Sir?
Theraflu starts to get to work in your body in just 5 minutes. Theraflu breaks you free from your worst cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
So I was a head chef at 24. I won Best New Restaurant in the country at 31. I've published cookbooks. I've been on TV. I've relied on people every step of the way. I still do. I have to. So staying connected to those people, that's what makes me feel accomplished. They're people I connect with, that I'd sit at a table with. These are the people that I ride with every day.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service certified asthma and allergy friendly. It's our new standard of clean. Call about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
Hershey's Spreads. Bring the delicious taste of Hershey's chocolate to anything. Everything. With Hershey's Spreads, the possibilities are delicious.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Kevin. Blah, blah, insurance. Person, come help.
Hey, Grandma. 6 callers ahead of us, Jimmy.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you get to a better state.
Zantac heartburn alert. Stop. Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait. Try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
I let him know every time I save $1.
Every time.
Now there is a tool made for you. Introducing Savings Catcher from Walmart. It compares prices to top stores in your area. If there's a lower advertised price, Walmart will give you the difference on an e-gift card.
Oh, money!
For a limited time, get 2 times the Savings Catcher reward dollars when you redeem to your Bluebird card.
Every penny counts.
Yep. Join the millions of people saving money with Savings Catcher. Go to walmart.com/Savings Catcher. Save money, live better. Walmart.
Tuesdays.
I bought 51% of this business. I now control you, and I can throw you out.
Marcus Lemonis does whatever it takes to fix a failing business.
I'm 100% in charge.
The Profit, all new Tuesdays at 10 Eastern on the fastest growing network in primetime.
What I say goes.
CNBC.
Currently in our area, 70 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy skies. High 84. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, low 64. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
If you missed this Sunday night on the Weather Channel, you'll never know how twisted weather can be. Wicked Weather Sundays, every Sunday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Right now on Weather Center Live, a triple threat Thursday. From out to sea to on land, there's trouble in the water.
In the Atlantic, we're tracking Gonzalo heading towards Bermuda. In the Central Pacific, Ana churns towards Hawaii.
And in the Northeast, the type of rain that's falling could wash out many of your plans. Half past the hour right now on Weather Center Live. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Bonnie Schneider. We'll have more on the tropical trouble this Thursday in just a minute.
But here on land, if you haven't seen the rain yet, consider yourself lucky. It has been nasty so far this week, and it's not over just yet. Check out this rain coming down in Silver Spring, Maryland. You know it's a heavy rain when it falls in a steady stream off the roofs. And expect to see more of this today as we track the rain into the Northeast and New England.
That's right. Well, let's get you in front of that and the other big weather stories we're watching for you today. Well, first off, heavy rain in the Northeast. It's a nasty start to your morning in New York City and no relief in sight. Showers are expected to stick around through the day. We're looking at Bermuda and, of course, watching for Gonzalo. A lot of storm preps going on there. And if that's not enough, Ana is barreling towards Hawaii, so we're watching that closely. Jen?
All right, well, let's take a look at what's happening in New York City and the Northeast. Look outside in Times Square, pouring down, raining. Literally, buckets of rain are coming down. We've got a big washout for your commute this morning. So get ready for all the delays that you know come with the rain and the slippery subway steps and everything else going on today in New York City. Rain out there for at least the first half of the day, and look at it. I mean, we've got the radar just lighting up with the bright colors, which you don't want to see over your area for a morning commute. If you're coming in from White Plains or Poughkeepsie or Newburgh, we've got the pouring rain coming down, and it's tracking up from the south to the north. So there is more where that came from, especially in central and eastern Long Island. South Jersey, we still have a couple more showers out there. Trenton, New Jersey, raining right now, but there is going to be more relief coming to you. Same thing in Philadelphia. Again, most of the rain tracking in from the south to the north, and it's tracking right up here into the tri-state. And then it moves into New England, and it's not going to move east very quickly. We've got this dip in our jet stream, and you see the negative tilt to it, sort of tilted back like that. Well, that means that A, it's going to be pulling in more moisture here into the Northeast, but B, it's not going to move east very quickly. That kind of tilt is pretty slow. So we are watching for, again, the rainfall throughout the day today, throughout tonight into New England. Watch this big band of rain slowly inch east, getting into Boston by later today through this evening into the overnight Boston. We still have rain. Portland, it comes in later today, tonight, sticks around even into tomorrow in parts of rain, and it could add up 2 to 3 inches of some of the highest numbers we think. Southern New England first, and then northern New England getting into Saturday morning totals there. Bonnie.
Well, Jenny, you know, it's a mad dash to the stores in Bermuda. They're preparing for the wrath of Gonzalo. This photo was taken from inside what appears to be a hardware store, according to the Royal Gazette. Thousands rushed to stores for hurricane supplies. They've been through the drill before, so they know what to do. One store owner says that generators, batteries, and ropes have been flying off the shelves. I'm not surprised. It's been a rough tropical season. And, you know, more is ahead as we continue to track this hurricane. It's a strong hurricane. As we get the latest coordinates for you from the National Hurricane Center, 140-mile-per-hour winds, very intense. This storm has strengthened, and we're likely to see Hurricane Gonzalo still be a menace and a threat as it works its way towards areas further to the north. Look at that, a Category 4 at this time. Unbelievable. Friday early morning, though, it does get a little bit weaker, but still intense, so nothing to take lightly. By the time we get to Friday afternoon, when we're expecting interaction or possible landfall with Bermuda, the winds are at 115. This is a rough estimate. You can see the wide cone of uncertainty, and those storms can wobble a bit. Now, landfall again, yep, it's possible for Newfoundland, so keep a monitor on that because the storm could come in and certainly whip up the waves and strong winds as well. By the time we get to Monday morning, the storm is working its way across the Atlantic. That's right. But in the meantime, for the immediate future, keep note that there's a hurricane warning now in effect for all of Bermuda. A Category 4, Jen. Amazing.
Yeah, that was a big jump, 125 to 140, but you certainly could see the intensity from the satellite perspective, and hurricane hunters are flying through it. All right, let's take a look right now at your forecast hour by hour today. We already done the Northeast and the Southeast. Let's go to the Midwest. And you know, we had such a rainy, drizzly, raw, ugh kind of day yesterday, which I think was sort of your official forecast. Just, today, we sort of have that still in parts of Ohio and into lower Michigan for the first part of today, but getting better in Chicago, getting better in Green Bay and Milwaukee. Yes, through about midday, you still have the clouds around, but at least you don't have the drizzle. And we still have the sunshine in Minneapolis and Kansas City. And by 5 o'clock Chicago, look what happens. The sun peeks out here, looking much better for you and in parts of Kentucky, too. Bonnie, over to you.
Well, Jen, let's give you another look at conditions you'll need to find in the road and in the air. Travel, of course, could be affected in Bermuda by Hurricane Gonzalo. Some cruise ships have already left the island, and the airport is going to be closed as we go through tomorrow. But as we can see, our airport delays look pretty menacing in the northeast. Boston, Philadelphia a little bit, but Boston, that rain will slow you down. If you're driving in Raleigh or Orlando, it's looking good. So it depends where you are, Jen. We're getting some nasty weather, but some also beautiful skies.
Oh, for sure. I would love to go to Florida today. Meanwhile, when you talk about travel, we are certainly watching folks traveling to Bermuda. Just days after one tropical system, Faye, knocked out power to thousands on Bermuda, the island is bracing for Gonzalo. Forecasters fear that it could be another Fabian, a storm that hit in 2003, causing a lot of damage. Last night, storm tracker Jim Cantore spoke with the premier of Bermuda, the Honorable Michael Dunkley, about Bermuda's second tropical strike in less than a week.
First of all, Mr. Premier, thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. We know you're very, very busy here, certainly from wrapping up what happened with Faye, which was kind of a surprise. Talk about Faye a little bit. Just how bad was that?
It intensified pretty much right over us, and the winds came out of a northerly direction, which is different for this time of year. And so it was a bit worse than we expected. We had no significant injuries. We had a lot of tree damage and a lot of power outages, but we restored most of the power, and as of tonight, we probably are just about 1,500 customers without power, and on Sunday morning we were at 28,000.
Oh, wow.
So we made great progress.
What is your biggest concern with Gonzalo?
Well, first, our biggest concern at this point is to make sure we get prepared. So the EMO met early this morning, and we had a press conference right after that, and we're urging everybody to prepare. Batten down their property, board up where they can, make sure they secure everything in their yards, and go out. As Bermuda is a very outdoor environment, a lot of people have boats, so secure your boats. Make all the preparations you can.
Well, we know this is coming, but unlike the United States, you can't just call the state next door or the island next door and say, hey, guys, can you help us pre-position folks to help us clean this up? How are you going to deal with what could be quite a bit of damage, even more than you dealt with Faye?
Well, the Emergency Measures Organization is prepared for that. We will position resources in various parts of the island so as soon as the storm passes through, we can get back to assess what needs to be done, take care of any challenges we might have, whether it be injuries, trees down, blocking roads. So we'll position our resources strategically through the island. Also, we have an agreement with the British government that a British warship will come in on Saturday morning after the storm, if need be. And of course, we have great neighbors all throughout the region who will offer assistance if need be, such as people to get out and help restore the electricity. So we put those plans in place, and we're prepared for the worst, and we're certainly praying and hoping for the best.
All right, well, good thing they're prepared, and right now it is all about the tropics, but a few days ago we were talking severe weather and deadly severe weather. More on that analysis coming up next.
Currently in our area, 70 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy skies. High 84. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, low 64. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
It's Chevy Truck Month, time when truck guys can depend on great offers on the 2014 North American Truck of the Year. Chevy Silverado, from the family of the most dependable, longest-lasting full-size pickups on the road. It's Truck Month. Trade up to this Silverado Crew Cab LT All-Star Edition for a total value of $8,500. It's Truck Month. See your local Chevy dealer today.
Check out all these airline seats. Lots of them, right? But when you try to get one by using your travel rewards card miles, those seats mysteriously vanish. Why? All the flights you want are blacked out, or they hit you up for some outrageous number of miles. Switch to the Venture card from Capital One. With Venture, use your miles on any airline, any flight, anytime. No blackout dates. And with every purchase, you'll earn unlimited double miles. Now we're getting somewhere. What's in your wallet?
Guys, you're not going to believe this.
Watch this. Sam always gives you the good news in person, bad news in email.
Good news. FedEx has flat rate shipping. It's called FedEx One Rate, and it's affordable.
Yeah. That's great news.
And we have to work the weekend. Great.
More good news. It's Friday.
Woo! Ship a pack via FedEx Express Saver for as low as $7.50.
Yeah, I'm married. Does it matter? You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
Lowe's presents how to install a new washing machine with one finger.
Maybe a little more that way.
Nice.
Now get 10% off all major appliances, $3.99 and above.
I get why people like Denny's new pumpkin pancakes. First of all, they're light and fluffy, topped with pumpkin whipped cream and cinnamon sugar, and only $4.99. Second of all, they're light and fluffy, topped with pumpkin whipped cream and cinnamon sugar, and only $4.99.
Welcome to Denny's.
Hands were made for talking. Feet, tiptoeing. Better things than the pain, stiffness, and joint damage of moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis. Before you and your rheumatologist decide on a biologic, ask if Xeljanz is right for you. Xeljanz tofacitinib is a small pill, not an injection or infusion, for adults with moderate to severe RA for whom methotrexate did not work well. Xeljanz can relieve RA symptoms and help stop further joint damage. Xeljanz can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers have happened in patients taking Xeljanz. Don't start Xeljanz if you have any infection, unless okay with your doctor. Tears in the stomach or intestines, low blood cell counts, and higher liver tests and cholesterol levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Xeljanz, and routinely check certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you have been to a region where fungal infections are common, and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take. One pill, twice daily. Xeljanz can reduce RA pain and help stop further joint damage, even without methotrexate. Ask about Xeljanz.
I heard you have a tough clog.
I only have 10 minutes.
I only need 7.
Liquid Plumber Urgent Clear penetrates the toughest clogs with 2 fast-acting gels in only 7 minutes, guaranteed, baby.
All right, Cleveland, Ohio, good morning to you. We have more clouds and more showers again today, and it's going to stay in the 50s. A lot like what you saw yesterday, Cleveland. You want to know, do we get to break out of this today? Well, let's take a look out there. We're going to be watching for showers lingering underneath our upper level low. And to me, this kind of upper level low rain is the most annoying kind of rain because it feels like it's time to clear out, and it's just not going to clear out just yet. So light rain right now, 55 degrees in Cleveland, and that's about what you're going to see today. It's not going to be a ton of heavy rain, but you're going to get underneath the upper level low these bouts of rain moving around and tracking right underneath the upper level low. So you'll see for Cleveland showers coming up from the south today, Cincy they're coming in from the west. Here's the big upper level low, the big dip in our jet stream. That's the upper level low itself right now, centered over Kentucky. So we take a look at the rainfall forecast for you in Cincy, and right through the morning we've got showers in your forecast, and temperatures are chilly in the mid to upper 50s at best by lunchtime. Bonnie?
Well, Jen, you know, it's time now for your view from above, and we begin with a sight that's very apropos. You could see even the sun is getting into the spirit of Halloween. This image is the pumpkin sun. It was captured by NASA at the beginning of this month. What perfect timing. NASA says the sun's active regions are those areas where you could see the most light. They created this stunning image by blending pictures taken at different wavelengths. And what a sight it is, just in time for Halloween, except it looks like an angry sun, right? It looks like a jack-o'-lantern. Well, how about this pretty incredible view of what was Typhoon Fanfone? This image comes to us from NOAA. It shows the storm develop in the western Pacific. Here you can see it as it actually becomes a typhoon. It skirts past Japan, and the energy moves all the way across the ocean towards Alaska. So, Jen, some incredible images. How do you like that pumpkin, right?
Oh, I love that pumpkin slash image of the sun. That was amazing. Now, we're going to switch gears and turn now to this week's tornado outbreak. The number of tornadoes we saw has climbed again. Florida and Georgia are the latest states to add to the count. Florida weather investigators say 5 tornadoes hit their state this week, and they expect that most will be EF0 in strength. Both Georgia and Arkansas now have reported a 6th tornado, and that boosts the total number of tornadoes to 34. Investigators continue to pore over damage and video from this week's severe weather outbreak. As our own severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, shows us, some of the calls about the weather that caused some of the damage seen can be very tough ones to make.
Well, let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. We'll show you more of that in just a moment. But first, you know, we've definitely seen a busy week so far, but it's not only yet. It's only going to ramp up even more. Today, it's important to note if you're traveling, we're likely to see a lot of delays. Guess where? Some of the busiest airports in the country, in the Northeast, in Boston and New York City. We're already getting reports of low ceilings, meaning visibility is poor. At this early hour, usually you can get a good flight at 6 a.m., but I think it's not going to be a good one today if you're traveling. You're probably going to see some delays. Now, tomorrow, most of the country looks pretty good. We do have some wet weather in the Pacific Northwest, and we're getting towards the weekend, a busy October weekend. I'm sure you have lots of outdoor plans. For the most part, things look pretty good. There's a little bit of rain activity towards Chicago. And then finally for Sunday, looks pretty good. There is rain, of course, in the Southwest and South Texas as well. As we ramp up for the start of next week, we have a lot going on. You can see the rain, a new system coming into Northern California that'll kick off some showers and possibly storms there. And then it becomes a little bit more widespread. There'll be snow in the higher elevations out to the west, and the rain is back for Tuesday. Can't catch a break. This could be a vigorous storm that may bring some wind and rain to the region, even for Washington, D.C. as well. Well, stay with us. We're tracking Gonzalo and Anna and your travel weather, which again will be impacted by storms. Jen?
All right, Bonnie, thank you. Now, it's the strongest storm in the Atlantic in 3 years, and it could mean big trouble in Paradise. We're tracking Gonzalo as the storm treks toward Bermuda. We'll have a look at the impacts we could see on this popular island.
Let's do a reality check. Kids will be kids. Dogs will be dogs. So let's get some paint that's more than just paint. Made to stand up to this and look beautiful for years. Let's lose the old marks and messes and stop new ones in their tracks. Let's worry-proof our walls. Let's do this. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot.
Behr Premium Plus with Easy Clean Finish starting at $25.97 a gallon.
This is a map of the pressure points on my feet.
I had flat feet. I learned where the stress was at the Dr. Scholl's Foot Mapping Center. Then I got my number, which matched the custom-fit orthotic inserts with the right support.
Go to drscholls.com for locations and save $10.
I'm a believer.
Since 1902, Carrier has been inventing new ways to make people comfortable. And today, we're thinking even bigger, thinking about the specifics of your home and how you live in it. What if you could control your home's energy usage with a fingertip? Or just let us do all the work for you? Well, what if is now what is. Carrier. Turn to the experts.
Every Monday night this fall.
What is it that produces these things?
The Weather Channel unlocks the secrets of the Earth. An all-new season starts Monday night at 9 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 70 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy skies. High 84. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, low 64. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Your adventurous side is waiting. Your relaxing side is calling. Your Let's Do It All side has arrived. And an unforgettable Disney vacation is all within your reach. And right now, you can create a 7-day package, including a select Walt Disney World Resort hotel room and theme park tickets for as little as $78 per person per day for a family of 4. So come on, show your Disney side this year at the place where dreams come true.
Fact. Every time you take Advil, you're taking the medicine doctors recommend most for joint pain. More than the medicine in Aleve or Tylenol, the medicine in Advil is the #1 doctor recommendation for joint pain. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
For the year? Hi, sorry, just want to say, I bundled home and auto with State Farm, saved $760. Love this guy. So sorry.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Savings worth talking about. State Farm.
Discover Card, how can I help you?
Oh,
you're real?
You know I'm real. At Discover, we're always here to talk.
Good.
Because I don't have time for machines.
Some companies just
don't appreciate the power of conversation. You know I like you.
I like you too.
At Discover, we treat you like you'd treat you. Get the IT card and talk to a real person.
Oh, hey, Craig, I need to talk to you.
Hey, Jake.
You know, you all let me touch your dart? Well, I've got some things that you can't touch.
Is that right? What'd you get there?
Just a crossbow. You can shoot things with it.
Can't touch it.
No, you can't touch it. Look at this, my George Foreman grill.
Oh, that cooks meat so good. I can't touch the toothbrush that you put in your mouth.
Yoga.
You have an opera.
Every child follows a path in life. For many, that path will lead them to a door that gives them a place to grow, to learn, to belong, a place to forge their future. Because while many doors open, these doors transform. They did for us. Support your local Boys and Girls Clubs. Great futures start here.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
What are you doing? I can't believe you're watching this without me. We agreed we'd catch up on everything tonight. If I did this to you, you'd murder me in my sleep. You know what? Just watch it by yourself. I can't not know when I know that you know.
The latest episodes of the Top 100 shows are preloaded and ready to watch with Xfinity On Demand. Xfinity, the future of awesome.
Free 1000. Ready for a new breed of broker? There's a name for people like you. Trade King. Switch today.
You're going to want to watch 7 a.m. on AMHQ.
This is a big weather morning.
The biggest weather hour anywhere. What you watch in the morning matters.
Let's get weather geeky this morning.
Make AMHQ your morning show. America's morning headquarters. Weekday mornings starting live at 7 Eastern on the Weather Channel.
Every Sunday, a new tale of weather legend. American Supernatural. Sunday nights at 10 on the Weather Channel.
All right, tropical update time, and we do have a new advisory in for Hurricane Gonzalo, and it is back to Category 4 status. Winds have really increased in strength. We'll show you that in a moment, but of course that's our top story. We also have Invest 92E in the Eastern Pacific. The reason we're circling this here, and besides being an invest, is that some of this moisture may get into the Gulf of Campeche next week, and that's something that we'll keep on our radar anyway. Tropical Storm Ana. We'll have an update on that coming up in just about a minute. But first up, Hurricane Gonzalo. New advisory has the winds of 140 miles per hour. Hurricane hunters are are going in a couple of hours this morning, flying through at about 8 o'clock, and they will continue to get new observations from the center of it. But you take a look at this from a satellite perspective, and this is what the National Hurricane Center saw as well, and just a very distinct eye and eye wall here, and that's one of the signs of the strengthening and thus the increased winds that we've seen to 140 miles per hour. All right, so we look at the environment that it's in. Plenty of moisture to work with. Big trough off the East Coast, which is going to help steer Bermuda, steer the track of Gonzales towards Bermuda, which is why we're pretty confident on this track. You look at the models and they're very clustered tightly together. The models have disappeared for a moment, but at any rate here, the concern is that they track Gonzalo very close to Bermuda and especially just to the west of it. And that's sort of the worst place for it to be because the worst of the conditions in a hurricane are normally on its east side. That's where we've got strong winds from the hurricane itself, not to mention the forward motion of the storm, which is going to be picking up some speed as we get into to a potential landfall or close to it by tomorrow. So tonight, conditions deteriorating. Hurricane warning in effect right now for Bermuda from Hurricane Gonzalo. Bonnie?
Well, Jen, if that's not enough, we're also tracking what's happening in the Pacific, and Hawaii is keeping a close watch on Ana, a tropical storm. It's an unusually active year for Hawaii, and this tropical storm, typically they would come over cooler water and we would expect it to weaken, but the water temperatures have been a little bit warmer than they normally are, and that's going to be one of the influencers in Ana. Looking at the storm, it's certainly not a Cat 4 like Gonzalo, but it's something to be prepared for, because right now we have winds at 60 miles per hour, so it's a powerful tropical storm, and it's likely to become a hurricane as early as Friday, and then interacting with the islands by the time we get to Saturday, and it's going to stick around for a few days. So that means a rainmaker and the potential for even flooding. Please be careful if you're traveling. It's something to keep close watch on. We do have a tropical storm watch, Jen, in effect for the Big Island.
All right, and here, and potentially other islands may have watches as well, so that's one to watch. Then we go from the tropics to the season some are still talking about last winter, when not just snow, but ice crippled cities in the south.
Well, already we've told you about the snow that we're finding in Atlanta right now. So the Georgia impacts Winter Storm Leon, definitely widespread wintry weather over the deep south.
Just trying to get home. Hour and a half, and I've only gone a mile.
Employees here at the Weather Channel getting stuck on roadways coming into work and leaving work.
And here in the parking lot, you can see the cars are just lined up trying to get out and get home.
So what might this winter hold? Well, you can find out today on America's Morning Headquarters. That's when winter weather expert Tom Nizzle unveils his forecast for this winter. The action begins at 7 Eastern this morning. And it may not be winter yet, but we definitely have a chill moving into the Northeast this weekend. And Bonnie, a few spots may actually see some snow.
That's true. And one of the places we're looking for some rain, of course, at some point, Pittsburgh. Look at that. Early in the morning, not too many cars on the road. We're taking a live look outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I think things will get a little busier certainly as we go through. Temperatures will be in the 60s for the day today. Let's take a look at the forecast for the weekend as we kind of get things going for much of the area. For Saturday, we're looking at rain in Pittsburgh. Oh no. Well, hopefully it won't do anything to hurt your plans. On Sunday, we're looking at dry conditions, which is nice for much of the eastern half of the country, but notice the rain coming into areas of the desert Southwest. So that's something to keep close watch on as we go through the rest of the weekend. Jen?
All right, thank you for that, Bonnie. Meantime, Thursday, right? It's time for some football. Let's take a look at tonight's Jets versus the Patriots game in New England at Gillette Stadium. We are looking at rain and more rain coming our way. Little slipping and sliding out there today, no doubt, on the turf. Rain, heavy at times. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-60s. A little humid feeling, too, because you'll notice as you step outside this morning, it's a bit humid out there right now, and that's not going to be changing by this evening. Well, we are looking at much calmer days coming across the country, but the rain is not moving out just yet.
No, for some of you, it's going to be a rain boots kind of day, where your commute's getting off to a nice start and where areas will see the downpours. Stay with us.
Currently in our area, 69 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy skies. High 84. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, low 64. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Records washed away, another legacy of the weather maker that triggered a tornado outbreak this week. Now that heavy rain pours over the Northeast, where it's already brought flood advisories and the tropical link that could make it worse.
Then run to the stores. People in Bermuda are rushing to stock up ahead of a hurricane called Gonzalo. Why some say this storm could rival Fabian that struck back in the island in 2003.
And Hawaii faces another tropical threat when Tropical Storm Ana could become the third tropical system this season to affect the islands. It's all right here and now on Weather Center Live. Good morning and welcome to Weather Center Live. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Bonnie Schneider. We face weather trouble on land and at sea this morning.
Now we begin with the growing concern over not one but two tropical systems.
Tropical storm watch, well, that's now up in Hawaii courtesy of Ana, something we're keeping a close watch on. And hurricane hunters are scheduled to fly again into Gonzalo, which is now a major storm. We're looking also at the threat today for Bermuda. Private schools are closed today ahead of Hurricane Gonzalo, and of course that one could take direct aim at the island.
Now on land, Dulles Airport in the Washington, D.C. area, one of the spots that saw record rainfall yesterday from the same system that triggered this week's tornado outbreak. At Dulles, at least 1.3 inches of rain fell. That broke the old record set back in 1970.
Well, that rain is one of the weather stories we want to get you in front of this morning. Keep in mind, it's not going to be an easy one for the Northeast. We're anticipating a lot of airport delays for Boston and the New York City metropolitan area due to heavy rain. And how about a major storm? Well, we're watching a hurricane named Gonzalo, and that's going to impact Bermuda. And finally, Hawaii, you're not out of the woods yet in tropical season. We're keeping our close watch on Ana. Jen?
All right, let's take a look at the rain first in the Northeast. It poured yesterday afternoon. It's pouring this morning. Philadelphia, still some light rain out there. Same system that we've been tracking all week long, and it's going to be with us for the rest of the week, today and tomorrow. So let's track it all for you. This is our big event. This rain has made such a mess of travel plans and of your after school, after work plans as well. Now today, Philadelphia, we take a look out there. A couple of showers still left in Center City over towards Trenton, New Jersey. Some heavier rain. Temperatures in the mid-60s here in Philly. You see South Jersey with some rain as well up into northeastern Pennsylvania. But the bulk and the track of the heaviest rain right now tracking right up here east of New York City, north of New York City is where we're seeing some of the heaviest of rain, and it is raining in Manhattan as well. Flood advisories and flood watches are up. You know, one of the problems with all this rain is it's heavy, yes, but we have so many leaves coming down and they're clogging up the storm drains. And so that's going to exacerbate the flooding that we could deal with. And at least through the first half of today, we have those flood concerns. Now let's track out the rain. We'll put this forecast into motion, and you can see the band of the heaviest rain that we've been tracking moves over into southern New England by later today. Boston tonight, we're still getting a few showers, and you can see now Maine becomes a focus for very heavy rain overnight tonight into the day tomorrow. So we take a look at how much, 2 to 3 inches possible at some of the heaviest amounts. We're going to be watching that especially in southern New England first, and then into Maine. Again, starting tonight into tomorrow is when you will see your biggest rain. Still could get up to an inch in parts of the tri-state before all wraps up later today here. Bonnie.
Now, Jen, that's a lot of rain. Another place we're watching for some bad weather certainly is areas bracing for Gonzalo. And we're talking about Bermuda. 27 hours of tropical conditions that start today. The island's international airport will close later today, and it'll stay closed through Saturday. And in St. George's Harbor, they're pulling boats and working to secure the harbor ahead of Gonzalo. That's an understatement. When you have a major hurricane out there, you have to take some serious precautions, and that's exactly what we're looking at with Hurricane Gonzalo. This is a major storm, a Category 4, and taking a look at the latest advisory, we have winds at 140 miles per hour. Wow, I mean, this storm really energized. And you can see, I'll step over here so you can see, there's a real clear definition now in the eye wall that we didn't see as well before. So this is a powerful Category 4 storm. Where is it headed? Let's take the look at the track and the timeline of Gonzalo. And you can see a lot of heavy rain, certainly with the system, mostly on the northern side of the storm at this point. But Bermuda, just in the thick of things. They just got through with one storm and now dealing with another. The track takes the storm further away from Bermuda by the time we get to Saturday, but the problem is it only weakens a bit, so back down to 115. That's still an potent hurricane, so that's why Bermuda really has to take care and take advisories. Now notice Newfoundland in the cone of uncertainty for another landfall, and then the storm works its way across the Atlantic. So this is a storm we'll be talking about for quite some time, all the way to Ireland, so all the way to Europe. Incredible, Jen, as we track one storm from one country to the next.
Oh, it is. That is actually fascinating when you see the link of weather throughout the world, really. But let's focus on your weather hour by hour today. Closer to home, we've looked at the Northeast. Let's look at the Southeast, and I'll show you where we'll get some improvement compared to yesterday. All those showers out there in Tennessee yesterday, that's going away. Nashville even seeing some sunshine today. Temperatures this morning in the 40s and 50s across most of the area. For you in Charlotte and Atlanta and Nashville, we're still going to be on the cooler side, a little below average. But really in Florida, take a look at this forecast in Orlando and even down to Miami. The sun is out. Temperatures are hitting 80 in Orlando, mid 80s in Miami. And the key here is that the humidity is gone, so we're looking much better. Midwest, we are still stuck underneath the upper level low in places like Detroit and Cleveland and Columbus. But Chicago, the good news is for you, the rain is pretty much over. Bonnie.
That is good news. Unfortunately, we can't say the same for Boston or New York, where we're dealing with rain and wind, and that is going to impact your travel, whether you're flying or driving. We'll look for moderate delays in Boston. Already reports of low ceilings at the airports in New York City, so look for delays there, and you know how that goes. Once it gets started, it's hard to catch up. In Boston, if you're driving in the area, watch out for flooded roads, because this is going to be some heavy downpours and a lot of wind, so that'll really cause problems with visibility as well. The roads also this morning, it's really early in the morning, but New Yorkers wake up early, and if you're commuting in, you're going to face some wet roadways, Jen. A better place is Atlanta, although we do have sun glare to contend with here.
For sure, Bonnie, thank you. And also a gradual warm-up coming, how warm you will feel and when in parts of the Southeast, plus a growing tornado tally, where more than 5 new tornadoes are confirmed in the wake of this week's outbreak, plus victims of the outbreak, the heartbreak caused by one of this week's deadly twisters.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm on it. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
You're covered, Kevin.
Thanks, Melinda.
I have blah blah insurance, so person, come help.
Hey, Grandma. Dad, look who it is.
I see who it is.
6 callers ahead of us, Jimmy.
You're not helping.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you anytime, anywhere, anyway. That's getting to a better state.
Oh, sorry to like that.
I thought I hung up on you.
You're crazy. You got a big back seat. I like.
You can't touch something with your voice, Jake.
Yes, I can.
No, you can't.
Yes, I can.
Can't.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Shut up.
I'm touching it right now.
Shut up.
What's in a can of Del Monte green beans?
If I was a flower growing wild and free, all I'd want is you to be my sweet honeybee. And if I was a tree growing tall and green, all I'd want is you to shade me and be my leaves.
Grown in America, picked and packed at the peak of ripeness, with no artificial ingredients. Del Monte, bursting with life.
Sign up today for AutoZone Rewards and earn store credit that'll come in handy for your next project. Spend $20 or more 5 times and earn $20 store credit. Visit AutoZone.com/rewards.
This week on America's Morning Headquarters, going green sounds great, but can you do it and stay high tech? Gadget guru Jen Jolly shows us the tools we need to go eco and tech all the way. This week, starting at 7 on the biggest weather hour anywhere, America's Morning Headquarters, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 69 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy skies, high 84. winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, low 64. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera.
Oh my God!
Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Fact. Every time you take Advil liquid gels, you're taking the pain reliever that works faster on tough pain than extra strength Tylenol. And not only faster, stronger too. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
Log, Day of Discovery. Today, our junior crew members declared their newfound independence. While the young cadets explored uncharted territory, the Admiral and I discovered the Fountain of Youth. Later, we were treated to a royal banquet, and after a brief skirmish with pirates, we celebrated with cannon fire. All in all, another fine day at sea.
Disney Cruise Line. When it comes to pleasing everyone, the difference is Disney.
Shopping online is as easy as it gets. Wouldn't it be great if hiring plumbers, carpenters, and even piano tuners were just as simple? Thanks to Angie's List, now it is. Start shopping online from a list of top-rated providers.
Visit angieslist.com today.
All right, let's take a look at the temperature trend coming in the southeast because it's been a little chilly the last couple of days. Nashville, that includes us, where we didn't get out of the 50s yesterday. Today, it'll be a little bit warmer, but really the weekend is warming up. Let's look at the maps and we'll show you what's going on as we warm up into the weekend here. I'm showing you a forecast in Nashville and Atlanta. And, right now we're in the 50s, 58 degrees in Atlanta. Still more clouds out there than clear sky to start your day. Temperatures, for the most part, are still on the cool side, especially in places like Jacksonville and Orlando now that the front is through. Big difference this morning compared to yesterday morning. But as we get towards the weekend, everything changes. Everyone warms up. Temperatures today hit the upper 60s from Nashville to Atlanta. And then tomorrow, we see all this warmth start coming back, getting above average. Average in Atlanta is 73. We hit 79 tomorrow, and Saturday 75. And Southeast looks nice and warm, pleasant over the weekend. Bonnie?
Oh, that sounds good. I like warmth over the weekend. Well, it's time now for weather-making headlines this morning. The tornado count, it's climbed up again from this week's outbreak. Weather investigators have now confirmed at least 5 tornadoes struck their state. Indications are EF0 in strength, and both Georgia and Arkansas's National Weather Service offices have now confirmed a 6th tornado in their states. That brings the count to at least 34 tornadoes in 9 states. Well, new this morning, a tragedy in Nepal. At least 12 people have died when an unseasonal blizzard hit a popular hiking trail in the Himalayas. It triggered avalanches. And there are reports that other hikers are out of contact because the storm disrupted communications. And let's head back to the tropics now. Hawaii's governor has declared an emergency as Tropical Storm Ana heads on a path expected to take it towards the islands. Schools on the Big Island have already announced they'll close tomorrow, and Bermuda's preparing for Hurricane Gonzalo. Government offices will close tomorrow, and so will public schools. Jen?
Now, that's not all the island is doing to prepare. Private schools in Bermuda are closed today ahead of Gonzalo, and hurricane forecasters on the island fear it could rival Fabian back in 2003 in terms of impacts. Gonzalo is coming just days after Faye affected the island. Last night, Bermuda's premier briefed us on the steps underway to help his nation prepare for the storm and then recover after it passes.
Well, the Emergency Measures Organization is prepared for that. We will position resources in various parts of the island so as soon as the storm passes through, we can get back to assess what needs to be done, take care of any challenges that we might have, whether it be injuries, trees down, blocking roads. So we'll position our resources strategically through the island. Also, we have an agreement with the British government that a British warship will come in on Saturday morning after the storm if need be. And, of course, we have great neighbors all throughout the region who will offer assistance if need be, such as people to get out and help restore the electricity. So we put those plans in place, and we're prepared for the worst, and we're certainly praying and hoping for the best.
Well, you know what? In an interesting link, some of the moisture from Gonzalo could actually add to the wet threat that we've been facing in the Northeast, especially New England. Bonnie's going to track that threat and more over the next 7 days.
Well, Jen, it's a busy week ahead. We have a lot of moisture that we're tracking, rain, and a lot of that will impact travel. It's a busy time of year in October. People want to do weekend getaways. But today in the Northeast, rain, thunderstorms, and wind. It'll all impact you. If you're in Boston, if you're in Hartford, Connecticut, or out in Long Island, especially for the morning commute in New York. But let's move forward, and we'll show you tomorrow things are drying out, looking a lot better. The center of the country looks good, but for Saturday, we still have the chance for rain in interior sections of New England. On the West Coast, it's looking very nice. Temperatures in the 70s for Saturday and Sunday for LA and San Francisco. Seattle, not too bad at all, right at 68 degrees. But notice there is some rain in areas of the desert Southwest. You'll see that into Arizona, into Tucson. Dallas looks dry with a high of 81 degrees. So Monday, things are changing, and then by the time we get to Tuesday, we may be tracking a brand new storm that could impact the Northeast. That plus Gonzalo and Ana. Stay with us.
What does an apron have to do with car insurance? Every time you tie in an apron, you make progress. And we like that. Because progress is what we make too.
All right, we got one shot. Let's go twins right, 24 stretch.
24 stretch, all diamond.
Twins right, 24 stretch. All diamonds on 2 ready.
When the game's on the line,
Hit them with a hard count. See if they'll tip their hand.
the NFL trusts Duracell Quantum to power their game day communication.
They're blitzing up the gut. Get out of the pocket.
Duracell Quantum lasts up to 35% longer than the competition.
Thought it'd be bigger.
There's nothing I can't reach in my Subaru.
Introducing the all-new Subaru Outback. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
You're going to want to watch 7 a.m. on AMHQ.
This is a big weather morning.
The biggest weather hour anywhere. What you watch in the morning matters.
Is your weather geeky this morning?
I would love to see you take a ride in the space shuttle. Seriously, think about it. I've been in a space shuttle before. Didn't really go for a ride in it because the clearances are incredibly complicated. It got me thinking, you know what I've never done? I've never gone for a ride on a motorized skateboard. So somebody should do that. It's a great suggestion. Keep them coming.
Brought to you locally by South Florida Ford. Go further. Online at southfloridaford.com.
I loved my Honda Civic, but the time came for a new car. So I looked around and decided to leave my Honda for a new Honda. The Accord, Civic, and CR-V all have EcoAssist, plus an Ecom button for better fuel efficiency. Driving a Honda can save you a lot of money over time and fuel costs, so I got a personal trainer. Oh!
No churros!
Don't want the churros!
Start something special with a fuel-efficient Accord, Civic, or CR-V from Honda. KBB.com's most trusted brand. At your Honda dealer.
Our way of saying thank you. Wild tiger numbers are at an all-time low. Please, help save them now.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight. Wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
Stay tuned for your local on the 8s, brought to you by LL Bean. 100% satisfaction guaranteed and free shipping every day.
Making jackets that are built to perform anywhere is hard work. And at LL Bean, we take our job very seriously. Guaranteed quality, no matter what you're up against. From LL Bean.
Currently in our area, 69 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy skies. High 84. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, low 64. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And it's tropical update time. We've got Hurricane Gonzalo topping our list of stories, but it's not the only one. We also have an invest in the Eastern Pacific, 92E. Some of that moisture could actually get up into the Bay of Campeche next week. That's going to be a story we look to in the future. But right now, we've got Gonzalo and Tropical Storm Ana. Ana has its eyes set potentially on Hawaii, and that story about a minute away. Right now, though, an update on Gonzalo with the newest advisory that just came in as of 5 o'clock from the National Hurricane Center. It is back to Category 4 status, winds of 140 miles per hour. One of the indicators that they look to and that we've been watching as well from a satellite perspective to show that strengthening is this very concentric eye, very distinct eye wall. And you can see right now some of the higher cloud tops indicated by these brighter colors here really getting more focus right around that eye wall, which is where the strongest of the winds are. Now, let's talk about the environment that it's in. Gonzalo, plenty of moisture, no dry air of concern. There are some stronger winds in the jet stream, which is over the eastern U.S. That is actually what's going to help to steer Gonzalo up towards Bermuda by tomorrow. We're looking at impacts and weather going downhill in Bermuda by tonight, and we will see conditions potentially really deteriorate throughout the day tomorrow as we are tracking this as a strong major hurricane, potentially to make a direct impact on Bermuda, if not just to the west of it, which would be a very tough position for it. That's where the worst of the weather would be impacting Bermuda. Again, tomorrow, tonight, tomorrow, the time frame then, and then it accelerates over the northern Atlantic through first the Canadian Maritimes into the northern Atlantic over the weekend here. So hurricane warning is up for Bermuda. We also, though, have a hurricane watch in Hawaii. Bonnie?
That's true. We're tracking Ana right now. From the Atlantic to the Pacific we go. Let's take a look at Ana and we can show you the latest coordinates of the storm. You can see on the enhanced satellite, it looks pretty impressive. There's Hawaii just above my head. And as we track this system, it's likely to intensify as it works its way towards Hawaii. Once again, what a busy season it's been for Hawaii. This storm is forecast to become a Category 1 hurricane as early as tomorrow. And we do have tropical storm watches. They will likely be upgraded for the Big Island. People in Hawaii are not taking this lightly and, of course, are doing everything they can to prepare for Ana. Jen?
All right, Bonnie, thank you for that. And just to clarify, it's a tropical storm watch. Want to make sure I was correct on that for Hawaii, for the Big Island. Now, the weather maker that triggered a tornado outbreak this week is now a wet mess from the mid-Atlantic into the Northeast. But as NBC's Dylan Dreyer shows us, it's left tragedy and heartache in its wake.
Here in Durham, the rain really came down very heavily, and we've noticed this whole storm system transition from a severe weather event to more of a heavy rain event. So from here on out, we're not really looking for widespread damage from wind or tornadoes. Sadly, though, the same can't be said for parts of the South earlier this week. Charles Edward Witham, a Marine and father of 4, was killed when his home was hit by a tornado. We talked to his mother and daughter. This wasn't the first tornado to tear through Juliana Ormsby's hometown of Ashdown, Arkansas, but it was the first time her home was directly in one's path.
I feel like it's a nightmare that's not stopping.
She and 2 of her siblings were home with their parents, Roxanne and Eddie Witham, when the EF2 tornado tore through their neighborhood, the 111-mile-per-hour winds blowing their house to pieces.
All I saw was my walls all coming at me and my bed flipping me through the air.
All All 3 children and their mother survived the storm. Eddie, a former Marine, did not.
He went through 2 tours in Iraq, and a tornado kills him.
I can't believe he's gone. Everything that he's not going to be able to do now. He's not going to be able to see any of us graduate or walk me down the aisle.
The children's mother remains in critical condition this morning after undergoing surgery on Tuesday, suffering neck, back, lung, spleen, and liver damage. The children suffering bad bruises and cuts, but mostly in a state of shock, remembering their father and hoping their mother survives.
She's my hero. Like, if I lose her too, I don't know what I'll do.
Such a tragic story. Yeah. Now that wraps things up for us this morning on Weather Center Live.
But Wake Up with Al kicks off in just a few minutes, and coming up this morning, preparing for Anna on a shoestring. Hawaii's civil defense exhausted much of its budget dealing with Iselle, how they're working around that to gear up for Anna.
And Bermuda braces for Gonzalo. Storm chaser Mark Suttis joins us from Bermuda on the steps underway to prepare.
Plus, meet the next generation of storm chasers. Al's gone back to his roots in Oswego, New York, to introduce us to students tracking nature's fury in the field.
When he first joined the Army, I was very nervous.
We didn't know what they would have him doing. But Bobby always had a plan.
With unmatched training in over 150 careers beyond the battlefield, there are over 150 surprising ways to become Army strong. Talk to your son or daughter about opportunities in the Army.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this.
Danger.
You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are Farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Call 1-800-FARMERS and see how much you could save.
There's confidence. Then there's trusting your vehicle maintenance to Ford Service Confidence. Our expertise, technology, and high-quality parts mean your peace of mind. It's no wonder last year we sold over 3 million tires. And during the big tire event, get up to $140 in mail-in rebates on 4 select tires.
I get why people like Denny's new pumpkin pancakes. First of all, they're light and fluffy, topped with pumpkin whipped cream and cinnamon sugar, and only $4.99. Second of all, they're light and fluffy, topped with pumpkin whipped cream and cinnamon sugar, and only $4.99.
Welcome to Denny's.
A 3D white smile has the power to captivate. That's why Shakira uses Crest 3D White with White Lock technology, removing up to 90% of surface stains and locking out future stains. So your smile always steals the show. And to get even faster whitening, use this collection for a whiter smile in just 2 days. Crest 3D White. Life opens up with a whiter smile.
Away is the crackle of the campfire. It can be 1,000,000 years old or a few weeks young. Away beckons from Orion's belt. Away is a place that's closer than you think. Find your Away. For a dealer in the RV that's right for you, visit GoRVing.com.
It may have just looked like a storm, but they were dealing with something far, far worse.
Sunday night, the Weather Channel unravels a new tale of weather legend.
Voodoo, black magic, is it real? Yeah, it's real.
American Supernatural. Sunday night at 10 on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 69 degrees under fair skies. Today, partly cloudy skies, High 84. Winds northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, low 64. Winds northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The wildest weather ever caught on camera. Oh my God! Tonight, tomorrow night, every weeknight, wild weather at 8 on the Weather Channel.
This morning on Wake Up with Al, the storm threat continuing.